Oh, they call me Charlie Bay. Can't we cannibalize? Grandpa, I'm getting really hungry. I release you from the Valorant addiction. One-shot demons will never haunt your dreams again. Clanker kill, clanker kill. I'm not gonna kill her dad right in front of her. He slams him into the ground. That was for you guys. Okay, success. Our first roll, our first roll.
You guys are really nice, and you guys let me be dumb, kind of just let me be me, and that's awesome. Hi guys, hi everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm sorry if I do not sound fantastic. I might be a little sick. I might be a little teeny tiny, a little bit sick. What is this? Do you guys see this bar on my, or am I crazy? What is this black bar on my page here? Hold on, let me check out my stream, see if it looks okay. I did get the streamer you sickliness. If you guys have seen any other creators, there was a cough going around. And I had to take a second to recover. Yeah, what is that? I see it on my actual stream too. It's an OBS thing. Oh, that's what it is. I see. I just had to take it off. I never ignore it. I saw the flash of it. Ethan, you have to, hello Ethan, you will have to release me. It's something I've committed to. Ethan Pug in the chat says to arise in his arrival. And it has always been a thing that I do in fact arise. But he must in fact release me. Please stop. Okay, cool. Alright, hold on, let me get a little snack in. How is everyone today? Let me read off some names. Sakura, you're here. Hello, hello. Respect. Eric Erickson. Hello, hello. Will, hi. Guys, can we get a W Will in the chat? Will is my lead mod and has been so extremely trusty in holding down the fort. And W Shift as well. I did not get the honor of being able to thank them in the way that I wanted to. So let us say that. Hype train started. What the freak happened? Wait, Dreamin' Chef Squeaky, thank you for the sub. Hector Draft, thank you for the prime an hour ago. That is crazy sauce. Hold on, let me eat this real quick. Nom nom. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. I should have eaten dinner before this. Raber, thank you for the sub. Also, Bad Bets Mago. I'm your prime. I'm your prime? That's actually crazy sauce. Did you hear about the 6-month check-in by Ludwig? Someone sent me a clip. I think that's awesome. Hold on. We are applying the content funnel today. So everyone, get ready for this. The content funnel is happening today. Are we excited? Type. Can we emote if we're excited? Can we use my aura emote if we're excited? Content funnel, guys. Or spam content funnel, because we are in fact content funneling. Say hi to YouTube. Everyone say hi to YouTube. Alright. Since you guys are not used to... Oh, Corey, I'm your prime. Thank you. Okay. Since there's so many people new to this content. There's so many people who are new to my streams. I'm going to introduce to you my desktop setup. Is everyone ready to aura farm? Gus C, thank you for the prime. I'm so glad that I'm your primer. Is everyone ready for the aura farm? What's up, guys? I'm Fumi Bean, and thank you for being here.
Third rule of the leaf, aura farm.
Cool.
from Streamer U. What the freak is up? And we're gonna hit you with another one. I'm Fumi Bean. I love anime. Freyren is my favorite anime, so if you also like Freyren...
The mage who made great contributions to humanity's analysis of Zoltrak. And sent more demons to the grave than anyone else in history. Freyren.
We're pulling out all the stops. And you think it ends there? It doesn't end there, because you know what? I also love this anime, and it's called Bleach! Bankai. So yeah, guys, that's just a little bit of me. I love to make, on top of like all the things I like to do, I also love to make anime edits. And that is an example of an anime edit kind of incorporation to my production here on my desktop streams that I would love to build upon. Did we like it? I just started Bleach. That's sick. Oh, now I'm out of breath, guys. I'm also not very fit. I made that? Yes, I made that. I was very, very inspired by, well, I just love anime edits. I just love anime. I love watching anime edits. And oh my gosh, Just Nyrek, thank you for the gifted. I love to see you here. I'm so glad we're here, and we reached our sub goal. And you know what? When we reach our sub goal, it is cause for a little bit of celebration. Is Ding available? It should be. Hold on. W gifted. There we are. W gifted. Where is my chat? We do this. Thank you. Bang. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got raided? We got raided? Just now? Holy, why am I seeing my things late? Hi, Muse! Guys, Muse is my very awesome sauce roommate, and he is so cool and so amazing. We're going to talk about the advice that he gave me when it came to going into Streamer U, but let's do a little bit of celebration. We could do exclamation mark, boom! Boom, 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 boom. Can we get 5 big booms in the chat? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Muse. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the raid. All right, guys. So today we are going to apply the content funnel. And you know what that means? That means that we are going to do a YouTube intro here and now. And this is not the first time we have done this. So all of my OGers, you guys know what to do. You guys know how to behave. We go, hi, YouTube. Everyone say, hi, YouTube. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. And I love you guys, but I'm going to make these noties just a tiny bit smaller. Teeny, tiny bit smaller. Holy, thank you for the 400 bits. All right. I always say, hi, YouTube. I'll go, hello, hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Fumi Bean, and it's really great to be with you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about the entire story of my Streamer U experience, starting way back to the moment that I got accepted. We know. Starting from the moment I applied all the way up to now. Okay, we'll figure it out. If that wasn't a good intro, then we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. It's okay. Or I'll just do it off screen. But either which way, we stick to that. Everyone who's priming, thank you. And I will just say that I'm as much as I love you guys subbing, I have a hard time, being ADHD and all that, to like stop in my tracks when it comes to thanking you for subs. So if you guys want to save it for afterwards during Q&A, feel free to. I just know my heart goes out to anyone whose name I cannot say during this time. But I do love you guys. Thank you so much. All right. So there are several things I want to talk about going today. Let me pull up I did write up an outline for us, just in case I forget anything. But for those who are just getting into here, hello. I'm Fumi B and I went to Streamer U and I want to tell you my story. Let me premise this with the fact that I went into Streamer U as a small streamer. I had just hit about 2K, and then the Streamer U acceptance stream happened, and then my growth kind of skyrocketed from there. So I just want to say, though, I still come from the mentality as a small streamer when going into Streamer U, and I really want to prioritize the experience of a small streamer going into an event as intimidating as Streamer University. So yes, that's what we're going to premise this with. And then we're going to premise, I've always been a big believer of sustainable streaming. And I think it's really excellent because everything that I learned in Streamer U, it really did get confirmed by some, the big names like Ludwig and Agent, and Adapt, and just every streamer. They're really big on a lot of the points, a lot of the beliefs I have about streaming were confirmed in this time, and I'll share with you guys exactly what those things are. But I just want to premise, small streamer here, not as small anymore. We'll see, but I am. The advice I give to you guys right now, and anyone watching this YouTube video, is in fact for the small guy. And how to get through, how to navigate Streamer University as a small streamer. All right, to get started, I'm going to let you know that right now, I dropped out of college 5 years ago to pursue content creation full time. And for you guys to know, in my application, if you guys do end up seeing it, I talk about how I have been making videos for 18 years. Like ever since I was a little kid, I've really enjoyed creating videos. It's always been something that I've really loved and really enjoyed. And so it's been an integral part of my life. It's just a place of where I find happiness and joy. So I've always created from that joy. So when I'm speaking to the experiences and how I operated in Streamer U, it comes from a place of a lot of experience in a lot of intention behind who I wanted to be as a content creator. I've had a lot of time to develop how I want to operate no matter what, no matter what environment I'm in. And it's a skill that's built. Genuinely, I think it's built. But I think you could fast track your way to those answers through watching this video. But either which way, I spent 18 years making videos, and 5 years ago was when I decided, no, computer science isn't for me, and it would be a waste of time. I hate wasting time. I'm going to pursue content creation full time. And initially, I thought I was going to be a digital art TikToker. And throughout this 5 years of creating content and attempting short form, long form, doing podcasts, I pivoted many a times. I thought maybe I could try being a love advice podcast. I thought I could be a digital art short form content creator. I thought I could be an animator. I thought I could be so many different things, but it all took pivoting to finally find a joy in streaming. And that's where I would have never guessed in a million years that playing Valorant as a game, finding a gaming community and wanting to share these experiences would have been boom, 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 boom. What are we celebrating? 25K? Bang. Thank you guys for 25K. And while I'm reading it, hi, welcome to Subway. Thank you for the 5. I'm so sorry if I can't read your name while I'm making this YouTube video. Thank you guys. But hold on. That just happened, and I think I'm going to be turning off my streamer bot just so I don't lose my track of thought. Okay. I appreciate you guys. Love you. All right. Pivoted many a times, didn't think that playing Valorant and building a gaming community on Valorant was going to result in me really wanting to share those experiences of making friends on Swift Plays and building a community and streaming it. I fell in love with streaming. I loved optimizing. I saw streaming really as a way to optimize the time that I was spending, one, gaming, but also in real time getting to share these experiences without, the burden of recording them and or, I just felt so efficient to be able to stream while you game and make content at that same time. I've always been someone who, actually, I was really taught to prioritize time, not waste any of it. And that's been a huge part of, my content creation journey. Don't waste time. Or maximizing efficiency. Either which way, that's kind of where I'm coming from. And so initially when I go into, and I'm still a small streamer at this point, I hit 2K. I am still doing desktop gaming content, doing IRLs every now and then. And there comes the opportunity to apply for Streamer University. And for me, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Don't tell anybody. But I actually am not super extremely tapped in with with the concept of Streamer University. Just because streaming came to me, I've only been doing it for not even a year. It'll be a year. August 14th is my streamiversary, or when I became an affiliate. So I've only been streaming for about a year. And because of that, I haven't actually been very tapped into the the streaming world. So when it came to Streamer University, there was a huge question mark in front of my head. And I was just like, I don't think this is really a place where I fit in. Me and Cloyd is my best streamer friend, but also my boyfriend. When we talked together about whether or not we really truly, hold on. I'm sorry. Anyways, tapped in here. I have the Streamer U flu, and it is really hard to talk right now. Either which way, let me repeat myself a little bit for the sake of my editors or editing. I truly had so many conversations about whether or not to apply and whether or not, if we did apply, would we even, one, get in, or two, fit in with that crowd. And even when I did submit my application, I was putting my best foot forward. However, I truly made the video as an intention of, regardless, like if I get in or don't get in, I might just want this video to be like a new intro to my channel. Like I want this to display what my story has been so far. And honestly, truly, it didn't end up looking like a channel intro. I think at the end of the day, if I was going to tell, there was a part of me that was like, if I'm going to tell my story and apply to this event, I am going to embarrass myself a little bit. And I did end up sharing about how I've been making content for 18 years. I've been making videos for 18 years. And what that journey looks like and how, I've been, I premised it of I'm a lover girl and I've loved creating videos and I just want to continue to do that. I want to continue to make videos out of that love for sharing times with my friends, times with my family, and even moments with myself. Like that's how I feel like I display love. So in that respect, it wouldn't be completely honest to say that I created my application with no intention of it being like a true application video. I think the intentions changed after I did end up putting that risk. Because imagine, okay, I'm just saying this, but like imagine I make this video talking about how I've been making videos for 18 years, talking about a lover girl and talk how much of a lover girl I am, and talking about how I truly just want to create for as long as I can. And that's kind of how I ended. That's how I ended my application was just saying like, I want to create for as long as I possibly can. And I needed, whatever I'm able to gain from going to Streamer University, like I'm hoping it helps me to create for as long as I possibly can in my life. So anyways, that was my intentions behind my application. Submit the application, you know, and honestly, I kind of forget about it for a while. I'm just kind of like, there's so many great applications out there, and you know, I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what the vetting process looks like. And you know, I am very curious though. And I am so curious. And actually Kai has said, when we asked him about what the vetting process looked like, he said that there's going to be like a Kai said that there's going to be a behind the scenes video on his YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Little Kai Cenat ad there. But either which way, I forget about it. And then Ramiksagi, my roommate, who is going to be my cameraman, Ramiksagi says that he's going to stream his reactions to the Streamer U acceptance stream. And in my head, I was like, I was not even thinking of reacting because I was like, there's just no way that I even get in. And then Ram says this odd thing. He says that there's just some feeling he has that someone in our house is going to get in. Also, guys, I'm also in a house of content creators. I love my house. And he's just like so adamant. He's just like, there's someone that's going to get in. He just has a really good feeling about it. And I was like, I mean, I guess I didn't have any streaming intentions, but so be it. Like, if you guys see in my acceptance reaction, my room is actually such a mess because I'm just like, there's just no way it's gonna like that. There's just no way. And so either which way, I stream it and then I get accepted, and that was insane. It was actually one of the most rough weeks of my life that week, and it was incredible to get accepted. But now let's talk about leading up to actually going to Streamer University. There's the question of the class president thing. I end up making, you know, I put my best foot forward in terms of my class president application. I should have done it sooner, but it's okay. But I go to DreamCon, which was great. Got to meet SU students there, get a little taste for. Honestly, it was a great warm up to like when it came to meeting creators in IRL and streaming IRL. And then going forward, and DreamCon was so close to Streamer U that I got back home and then I went straight to Streamer U the next day, which is actually insane. But here's where we get into the nitty gritty. Let me look back at my notes. Oh my gosh, guys, there's this crazy video. Okay, let me talk, since we were talking about the kind of creator I was at the very beginning of my streaming journey. I think this is so funny. And for you guys who are here from Ludwig's, like the Ludwig Fumi Bean pipeline, this is insane. But you guys actually found this old video, and I say old, it's only a year old, barely a year old. But when I first started streaming, I, in my opinion, had a really great start to streaming. I think I don't know what number I hit here. I might have hit 500 followers, but I feel like I had a great initial start in terms of like momentum when it came to streaming. So I'm going to pull up that video, but this is a video that you guys found on my YouTube that I think is so hilarious. Let me see this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, and I'm going to... Okay, so basically, I end up doing a stream where I'm offering advice on how I've grown as a streamer. And I think it's not cocky, but it's also like, I'm not even huge at this point. But I did just want to, a lot of people were asking me, like, how did I find this growth? And I don't exactly know what my metrics were at this point in time, but I know that it was like within 3 months of streaming, I felt like I was doing really good. And then I created like a YouTube video, and that YouTube video is there. A YouTube video is on my YouTube channel. But this is a clip from it. And you guys found it. So let me show you guys. Holy. Okay, right here. Bang. Bang. Listen to those that are better than you. Ludwig. Oh, you guys can't actually hear this. Hold on. Listen to those that are better than you. Ludwig gave some really great advice. You can't really grow on Twitch alone. You have to go out on other platforms and put your content out there and have people come to you via those other platforms. Listen to those that are... So, like, it's literally just a clip of me giving, like, advice on like, content creation and how I got to where I was. But I think it's also crazy that y'all found that old clip. I think that's so freaking funny and hilarious that there's kind of like this full circle moment of me being a Ludwig student at the very beginning. And truthfully, it was because other content friends had pointed out this Ludwig video to me and were helping me and giving me advice on content creation. So I watched the Ludwig video and I really took it to heart. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll try and link it. Or if anyone wants to find it, like a mod, find that Ludwig video that gives that advice. But really, a lot of the stuff that he taught there, I think it was Ludwig he was doing an experiment where if he just streamed and he didn't promote the stream, and it was a fresh new Twitch account, like, would it succeed? I think from that, he ends up finding out that growing as a streamer looks different than it did initially before. And so, you know, we'll get into that at another time. But either which way, I just want to let you guys know, like, that was a crazy full circle moment when it comes to telling you guys the story of my Streamer U experience. Let me hit this. I don't really want to talk about this yet. Okay, let's talk about this. So, in general, I have some advice for medium to small size streamers when it comes to going into Streamer U. There's 3 things. The first one is that when you initially go into an event as big as this, and there's a whole range of like really high level or like different like levels of streamers and different parts of their journeys of being successful, and they're just growing and whatnot. Like, there's a lot of intimidation that comes with that. There was a lot of people in my ear about what I should do, who I should connect with, and whatnot. But I do genuinely believe that you have to hold on to your authentic self. And I know that sounds corny. Ludwig put it better. You are your own secret sauce. I think that's also, you know, that's fun. That's a better, more fun way of putting into it. But truly, when it came to how I felt like I wasn't going to fit in, how I felt like I was going to be the odd one out, because, you know, my initial expectation was that there was going to be mostly just trolling. And it was going to be crazy high energy. People were going to be running and screaming all the time, which is true. There is a trolling. There's absolutely the trolling. The trolling culture of Streamer University. Mr. Keem! Mr. Keem, hi! Mr. Keem! Okay, we're celebrating. Hi, my guy. We're aura farming. Hi, guys. I'm Fumi Main, and thank you, Mr. Keem, for the raid!
Third rule of the leaf, aura farm.
Bang.
Cool.
Hi guys, I'm a little sick right now, so I'm so sorry if my voice is raspy and whatnot, but what the freak is up, Mr. Keem? I'm so excited to go to Streamer Games with you, and I have been telling everyone that you're just like an older brother, and while you're here, I just want to say that it is super stereotypical of you to be the valedictorian, and I stood there in the audience like a proud younger sister looking at his nerdy her nerdy older brother that was such a tryhard that he was valedictorian. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, but in like the best way possible, Try hard. Yeah, you're never getting rated again. No, don't do it. But either which way, I'm so excited to do streamer games with you. We are currently practicing the content funnel. I'm going through my entire streamer U experience, and honestly, I'm speaking to the experience of medium to small size streamers. I started at 2K before the streamer U acceptance. And I really just want to offer as much advice as I can for small streamers that enter into streamer use. So if you're just tapped in, we're going to obviously content funnel this. This is going to turn into a YouTube video so you can get the, condensed, more concise version of this. But stay tuned. We're just at the beginning. And I'm talking about just initial expectations and the intimidations that come with being a smaller streamer at this point in time, and the mentality going into it. First of all, like a lot of people in my ear about who I should collab with, who I should connect with, and the underlying fear of, not exactly being a troll streamer. I think Mr. Keem is actually a perfect example of a streamer, not a small streamer, but a streamer who has his niche, has his authentic self, and really entered into streamer U, embracing his authentic self. And I don't know exactly all the different ways maybe he stretched out of his own content, but he embraced, TCG. He embraced his love for technology, supporting his community, supporting fellow students, honestly, just being a great guy. And he really held on to himself. Wise Mr. Keem, yes. And I think for me, I was a little bit lost. I will admit to you guys, I'm really just I have always operated like this and identified myself as this. And actually, Mr. Keem, you came up with a great descriptor, or what is it called? Something descriptor. Defining descriptor? I forget what it's called. But either which way, I feel like a really solid descriptor of myself would be something on the lines of being radically vulnerable and genuine in a really chill way. I don't know. But either which way, I've always really held I'm a comfort streamer, yes, but I really enjoy the idea of no matter who it is that I meet, I just want to be me, I don't want to be anyone I'm not, and whatever they bring out of me, because I've always been like a social chameleon in some which way that I can navigate certain environments, but at the same time, it's not like I completely code switch, But either which way, I'm entering into this seemingly crazy troll-like university with huge, big characters, and I'm kind of a chill person for the most part. Not all the time. I still have a sense of humor. And you guys, I think a lot of you guys have seen that sense of humor. But for the most part, I think maybe 70% of my content is this. Me and you just chilling, having a good time, having a lot of joy to be had, admiring the world, and helping one another in this community that we have. And then there are fun times where I'm hanging out with other streamers and we get funny and silly and very clip farmy. But yeah, I came out with those expectations of, wow, I'm really throwing myself into the wolves, but I want to hold on to my core values as a streamer. I don't want to be anyone other than myself. I think that's great. You don't need to feel pressured to be a troll streamer. It's a-okay. In fact, there's a clip of me in Adapt talking about this. Let's see next. I do just want to highlight, I was able to navigate and honestly feel very fulfilled in my experience of Streamer U, taking things at my own pace. One, being my genuine self, but two, when it comes to collaborations, I think we need to be on the same page, maybe? I don't know if that's the right phrase to use, but I want to be on the understanding that as a content creator, you don't need to force a connection. as much as there is like going to streamer university, it's all about collabs and networking and making good connections. But if a connection that you initially had, there was many people that I thought I was going to get along with particularly. And I'm not going to name names, but it turns out that we did not mesh as well as I thought. There was no bad blood, but it just didn't flow the way that it needed to flow. And we'll use Mr. Keem as an example again of an unexpected but lovely person that I really enjoyed. On my first day of getting to Streamer U, Mr. Keem was helping with my tech, and then suddenly he starts following me to the TCG, bro. And then we ended up doing a pack battle, and it was so much fun. But I just really enjoyed Mr. Keem's energy of being as welcoming as he was. I was, very hesitant to be intrusive on something that was seemingly his journey, his TCG thing. But I did want to try, pulling packs. I did want to get involved in that way. But he was very open, and for me, that felt like, wow, this is an example of a streamer that like unexpectedly I feel like I mesh really well with, in terms of like, wow, I feel so comfortable. I feel like I can be me. I feel like, very secure. And there's a dynamic here that I really like. And yeah, Mr. Keem has always, from then on, has always stood as like, top 5 favorite streamers of Streamer U, which I think is crazy and awesome. Super lucky to be going to streamer games with him. But either which way, more likely than not, you're gonna meet some people that you had expectations about, and it's totally a-okay to pivot and just say, a connection isn't a connection, whether it's timing or not timing, or they're just, hungry, or whatever like that, or, you genuinely just don't mesh. You don't need to force it. There's plenty of people to go around that you don't need to like put so much pressure on yourself if you didn't get along with them. And you never know who you might run into, and maybe the people that you never expected to mesh well with, you do mesh well with. Genuinely, for me, that was the case. There were some people where I was just like, you know what? I can't see myself ever even like being in the same room and like vibing with this person. Not gonna name names, but there were plenty of people out there that I had hesitancy about, and I was like, damn, wait, I actually really like them. We actually get along really well. And it surprised me. It did. So don't let those initial expectations get in your way. It's okay to adapt and be flexible. All right, now for this hot sauce. Genuinely, some hot sauce piping, steaming advice that I'm going to give to you smaller creators that might even be able to go to and get into Streamer U the next year. And literally anyone. And this is going to be a hot take. So everyone buckle up and get ready. I genuinely think it's okay to get egoed. Genuinely. And I know in the creator space, this is not a comfortable thing to talk about. And in fact, I think maybe people think that there's a general consensus of like, you get egoed, fuck them, But nada. Guys, think about this. You meet a creator, they don't know you. They're intent on growing themselves. You have literally no history or anything to prove yourself to them that you're someone who's fantastic and awesome. There is going to absolutely be an element of proving yourself in this world. They don't know you. If you're not a big name and you're a small streamer, how do you expect them to really even care to want to interact with you unless they are in a mood in which they are super duper open? So if there is a creator out there who is, maybe trying to grow themselves and they're reaching up and they're not too sure about you and whether or not they'll mesh well with you, and they're much more wanting to prioritize reaching up, it's a-okay. We're all here to grow, and you're gonna find the big guy that meshes well with you. And it's gonna be a-okay. And I don't think you need to take value out of yourself because you don't have rep yet, and that's okay. And it's gonna take time, but it's a-okay. In fact, I will say, when I got accepted into streamer games, when certain clips were coming out, that is when streamers started approaching me a little bit more, and that's okay. When people started saying like, oh, well, Fumi's pretty cool, it took kind of proving myself for streamers to approach me. And that's actually totally okay. And there's no ego on my end that doesn't see this reality. So let's get really comfortable with the fact that in the streamer world, in the content creation world, if you don't got anything, like if you don't got nothing to like, if you get egoed, it's okay. And sometimes you will have to prove yourself. But I do admire, I will say, in that same line of thinking, I really enjoyed the creators who saw the value in any streamer that made it to Streamer University in particular. And Mr. Keem was one of those people who didn't have this interaction with me and thought, are you big? Not that Mr. Keem really even needs to. I mean, I think he doesn't even need I don't think he's so set on those kind of status things anyways, and is really needing to reach up in that way. That's his to say. But in my experience, like, I was welcomed in his space regardless of whatever status I had. And I think that's awesome. And I think that the big streamers actually all did a really great job of not egoing anyone, or not egoing very much at all. We can talk a little bit about maybe a smaller streamer's disgruntledness of the bigger streamers in our space. So let me talk about that. Was I upset about the bigger streamers taking up space in their main character energy way, whether it be like disturbing classes or trolling or starting food fights or whatever which way they were trolling? No. I think that the big streamers set a really great example. Like, if anything, you sit there and you learn from those who have been doing this for a long time. It was so delicious for me to sit there and to learn and to look at what clip farming looks like and to get comfortable and to clip farm with them, you know? It was super great. And learning from the big guys, like, that was awesome. And I think it would be a mistake to get bitter about them taking up that space. It's like, no, they're here to make the most of this event. They've been given this excellent stage of like, okay, this is a university. It's like being on a set this entire time with different kind of segments and opportunities, whether it be drama class with all these props, there's security, like clearly everything here was coordinated and invented to create content with. And they saw that and they saw this opportunity. And they were seizing it. And they were teaching me so much. And I was really, really glad to be in their presence and to really learn in that way. So if there was anyone who was frustrated with the big guy, and didn't see the value of them being there, and we all have different takes, but that's my take. I really, really, really enjoyed that. And, if you guys saw any of my clips, I had really great experiences in a lot of the bigger creators being super willing to talk to a creator like me who doesn't have a rep. And we had some great moments together. I really, really loved the interactions I got to have. Couple names: Jason Lewine, super chill guy. Yusuf Yugi, Ron, Stable Ronaldo, Mr. Keem, Sketch, J Shock, Ludwig. Great people, great awesome sauce people. That I got to interact with, clip farm with, and it was a good time. So yeah, they were super awesome, willing to talk to me. Also Bonnie, super awesome. So yeah. Anything else in my notes that I want to go? Chemistry over clout. Bang, bang, bang. I think we kind of already talked about that. Not every interaction will click. Not every person will have the same energy. That's super normal. Oh. Okay. Here's something. Continuing in our advice, here is something that I was disgruntled with a little bit. And I'll post the clips or I'll share with you guys. So when you guys go back to my more short form, you guys will probably be able to see a little bit of my upsetness. This is where I felt probably the most affected. My genuine belief is that no matter what size of streamer you were going into Streamer U, I don't think anyone here, I think considering the amount of pressure there was last year and how, even a lot of the big guys, Kai Cenat was telling people about how to really make use of this event and don't fall off. Stay strong. Learn how to carry and sustain a community after this event. And to what extent people did not take advantage of the opportunity, which I will say it was the first Streamer U last year. This is the second time they're doing this event. And so pressure was on for every creator more to make the use of their time, right? Valid, super valid. But in that same thinking of, hey, no creator is coming here and trying to waste their time and saying they want to waste their time, I genuinely believe everyone is putting their best foot forward. And the thing is that I would come back to the dorms and I would turn on my desktop stream. And oh my, did you chatters always give me a hard time when I had spent all day like being out and about, putting my best foot forward, connecting, interacting, and the response from so many, and I understand it came from a place of like encouraging streamers to just get back out there, but turning on my desktop stream, and maybe it was a mistake when I really just needed to go back in my room and reset my brain, but I felt so much frustration of like people getting on me for being in my room. I'm like, guys, trust me, I am not hiding out. Trust me, I have put my best foot forward, and I am not by any means staying in my room because I just don't want to interact with people. I've been interacting with people all the time. And then there'd be a lot of comms, and fair enough. There were some comms from chat that were good in terms of like letting me know what's going on campus. But there were lots of comms of like, why aren't you at this event? Why aren't you at this party? Don't you know this is what this bigger streamer is doing? Why don't you go track down Kai Cenat? Thing is that, I think y'all gotta trust that the streamer is doing things that align with them, and I was doing things, I was making decisions that aligned with me. I didn't come to that event to chase down Kai Cenat at all costs. In fact, I never did that. If Kai Cenat showed up somewhere, I thought it was really cool, and I interacted with him. But I was never tracking down his whereabouts, and it would have been fun. But I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself to go chase after him, because there's lots of other streamers that are doing the same thing. And for me, it's like I'm here to see who I connect with, and I can't just be chasing after Kai Cenat 24/7. And there were a lot of comms from viewers, probably from a really great place, but it put the pressure on me. And I just urge y'all in the knowing of like, I can't imagine like other streamers who maybe didn't have like a good mental or were feeling a lot of pressure too, and how, when they're just trying to do desktop, rest for a second, and then get this crazy wave of like, get out of your dorm, like go out. Like maybe the 15 minutes that I'm in here and on desktop right now is the 15 minutes I need to just reset myself. So that was basically honestly, one of my only negative experiences was the level of trust viewership had of me as a creator and really bugging me to not rest. And at one point I did have to just make the executive decision that I'm not going to desktop anymore. Y'all are going to stay on my BRB screen because I hate reading chats that are telling me to get out of my room when I genuinely just need to relax for a second. Or take an editing break. Which brings me to my next point. I think a huge mistake I made leading up to Streamer U was not getting clippers and editors, even if it was people who wanted to work for free. I think it was important that I should have set up a system to make it so that your guys' point of view, and mind you, like connection was dropping, and I had to make the executive decision to not stream and just vlog for one of the days because connection was so bad. And we'll talk more about that in a second. But either which way, I think another piece of advice would be to, in any which way, get clippers and or a clipper and editor to help post for you throughout the time that you spend at StreamerU, because I feel like the value of the content after StreamerU goes down exponentially. Like, people, if they don't know your story leading up to it, it's really hard to make people get invested in you again. I still think that there's value, but I just think like there's so much more value when you're posting along the way. So, mistake I made, something I would have changed leading up to it. All right. And now for another dimension of the small streamer experience that I truly, if I were to have any complaint about anything of this event, I truly find it really, really hard to not have been able to, one, have good connection for 2 days, and two, not have a cameraman. I pivoted and I made it out okay. And I'll tell you guys the way that I adapted, but I will say it was excruciating. And so many streamers were also struggling with this, and it broke their mental because the poor connection just hurt. Like, not being able to bring my stream along with me, devastating. It just was. And I felt lonely without my chat. And I was really excited. People were telling me leading up to this event that they were so excited to see my POV and to deal with connection issues, and not being able to afford a TVU backpack was so sad. It was tragic for me as a creator. It really was. So I would say, yeah, that was just another downside. But here's how to adapt and pivot during times where you don't have great connection issues at Streamer University. Personally, I made the executive decision that if I was going to have connection issues, I needed to, one, prioritize clippable moments that didn't have lag, and I needed to be present. I needed to not be worrying about connection issues all the time. And so what I opted to do was vlog. I had to say bye to stream. I put y'all on a BRB screen, and I'm so sorry for those who are expecting my POV and we're stuck on that BRB screen. But I opted to vlog, be present, not worry about connection issues. And when I was connecting with someone who did have a TVU backpack, typically a bigger streamer, and who did have a cameraman, I did put down my phone. I put down my phone and I just interacted with them in clip farm, whatever which way. So a lot of the clips that you see with me, I'm not actually holding up my phone. I'm not actually holding up my streamer phone and vlogging. I actually put down my phone, sacrificed my POV, and I just interact with them on their stream. And I think it came out with really great results, which is great. But I also learned that there is so much value to a cameraman. And, okay, I'm going to say this. Don't tell Ramixagi, but for the sake of this video and for clarity, there are rumors going on about a different storyline, but I didn't have a cameraman. My cameraman was not accepted. And I saw so much value of not having to have a phone in front of a person's face like this. Like, imagine this. Like, imagine talking to someone like this. Like, this is so not fun. This is not fun at all. Talking to someone like this. Being like, yeah, Ludwig, what do you think about? What do you think about, collaborating with others and having stinky feet? And there's that. I understand though, there's a prioritization of budget, and, wanting actual professional cameramen to be there. I think that's super valid. But I do think that there's a lot of value to having a cameraman. And I don't know what the workaround is. I think that Kai did his best in terms of his executive decision to cut cameramen and keep certain cameramen. I think it's totally okay. But it is where I'm just like, wow, it makes sense storytelling wise, and just having a good experience at StreamerU. having a cameraman. I didn't even list anybody in my application for a cameraman because I just didn't think I was going to get in. And I thought, maybe there was a chance that I was going to be able to revise my cameraman situation. I wasn't able to, but it's okay. Either which way, that's just some advice. Other than that, let me look at my notes. I think other notes are just kind of extraneous. I don't think I'm using that word right. But let me just tell you guys what surprised me. A place where I thrived that I didn't expect to thrive. And this does kind of apply, I've talked a lot about like, okay, I'm gonna go to this event and be my authentic self, but what does that actually look like? I'm a cozy comfort streamer with a little bit of a sense of humor. But where did I feel like I shined, And what surprised me was classes. And if you're from the Ludwig pipeline, you guys kind of see this, or if you're here from Chase Next Door pipeline, Coach Chris pipeline, or Agent pipeline, or even the Adapt lesson pipeline. I am kind of the type of person who loves to get engaged in classes and be talkative and contribute in discussions, especially when it comes to things that I'm passionate about. And oh my gosh, guys, the classes, I didn't think that the classes would be as thought out and my bad. I didn't think they would be as delicious as they ended up being, and they were delicious. Okay. They were delicious classes full of just like, just amazingness. And it's funny because I didn't actually know, I always knew like Ludwig, he's like a well-spoken guy. And I think he has great points to be made. But when I initially talked to Ludwig, which was off camera during like the opening ceremony, he was one of the first like creators I talked to. And I go, do you feel like there's a teacher in you? Like, are you excited to teach? Do you feel like there's a teacher in you? And I asked that question because I was like, genuinely, and it's crazy now thinking because Ludwig he was, the professor of Streamer University. But it's crazy that I asked that question and he goes, yeah, my mom's a teacher. So I do think I have a teacher in me. And he says he's excited to do it. And we have the conversation goes on from there. But either which way, the fact that I even like doubted the teaching abilities of these streamers, my bad. Honestly, my bad. Like, y'all, underestimated completely. And so imagine my excitement when I get to these classes, and it's just fantastical. I loved it. I really ate it up. I really felt like, wow, this is the perfect opportunity. I love picking at a professional's brain is one of my most favorite things to do in the world. And I was sitting in a classroom full of the best, and they were teaching me. Like, and here's the thing, one of my favorite things, one of my favorite apps and courses is Masterclass. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's like a subscription service in which like there's videos, curated courses by like professionals. Like Gordon Ramsay has his own masterclass course. It's specifically like the masters of certain genres and element, not elements, but genres and like, different areas of life. The masters of those things give you a full course, and it's delicious. It's one of my favorite things ever. And so now I'm at this, what I'm truly passionate about. I'm at this streamer university, like duh, but like also it's just like, wow, I'm sitting in front of the masters and I get to pick their brains in a very nicely sized classroom. Like, this is not a crazy huge lecture hall full of 100 people. These are classrooms full of like 20 people. And I get to sit in front of them and pick their brain, and man, do I flourish in that situation. Not only that, but my peers also want to be the best as well. Like, that is an amazing environment to be in. I cannot stress enough how meaningful and delicious and amazing it is to just sit in a place and to absorb all of the loveliness of that. To my left, Jason Lewine. To my right, Blasian. To right in front of me, freaking Ludwig. Like, that is awesome. That's freaking awesome. And so great. I got to pick their brains, and that's where I flourished, genuinely. Like, when it comes to being my genuine self, that was where I flourished, because I was like, I can ask questions, I can pick their brains. This is me being me in my element. I love to learn, I love to talk with people, I love to grow as a streamer. That's why I'm doing this, content funnel. I'm talking with you guys, the journey of being a mid-sized small creator and what it looks like to embrace my core and to flourish in this very unexpected environment that I didn't even expect to flourish in. And let me tell you the polar opposite experience of where I don't flourish. And that is when the sun came down and the moon arose and it was time to party in people's dorms. Genuinely, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just not good at being in a dorm and shaking ass. It just doesn't happen for me. That's where I felt, some people flourished, during those times of the night. I did not. In fact, you guys know what? I went into the Ludwig so at the night of the frat party, I had two options. And I had already gone through most of the week being like, I know that partying in the dorms at night is not my element. I'm just like not one to, I don't thrive when we all have to dance and get litty, I'm just not comfortable. And so on the last night when it was the second to last night when there was a decision between go to frat party or go play blackjack with Ludwig, I was like, content wise, and Sarah, I love you. Sarah, my dearest, I love you. That's my roommate, exclamation mark roommate. She was like, all the way up until that point, I was like, yeah, I'll go to the frat party. That sounds like so much fun. I have nothing to do anyways. And I had to look at her and say, hey. So, Ludwig, one of my favorite streamers ever. Yeah, he's holding these blackjack games, and I might not go to the frat party because content-wise, I might just want to play some really fun games over there. She looked at me, she's like, no way. Well, no way you're not going to come to the frat party. And ultimately, I told her, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to go. And I go. And it turns out that Lud actually was going to end his blackjack before the frat party even started. It was something that his office hours were not going to go and pour over into the frat party. Because it turns out the frat party was, an element of Streamer U experience. It made perfect sense. And actually, just so that we can be clear about this, I did in fact thrive at that frat party. Because you know what? Put me on a bar, drinking some Blue Moons, I'm a happy girl. It was actually the best experience ever. I'm not great at the whole shaking ass inside of a dorm, but where I do thrive is sitting at a bar with all my favorite creators behind me and drinking some Blue Moon. That was great. And then after the Blue Moon, I gravitated towards watching people play pool, and that was even better. Bang. So I had a really great time. Either which way, I had a really great time. And then before that, it did help getting I did end up joining, if you guys don't know, for anyone who's not filled in here, I ended up joining Ludwig. And okay, sorry. For the sake of the YouTube video, I'm going to be a little bit more clear about this. When it comes to the highlight of my Streamer U experience, inevitably, and it must be said, it was in fact my interactions with Ludwig. I'm biased, but it's okay. But when I joined, one of my highlights was, and it was completely unexpected, and one of those magical, beautiful things that kind of came together in a way that I could have never imagined. Basically, Ludwig is holding these office hours, which are really a secret underground gambling event that he was holding. that Thank You Loafs did in fact influence me into being a part of. Only I got there late because I was getting ready to just go back out again and I missed it. But I get there late, and it was actually Ray who shows me into the room, and then Bonnie walks into the room, and me and Bonnie both want to play blackjack with Ludwig, only he's stopping the blackjack issue, and in fact he's on a mission to go after Arky for the 10 gifted that Arky owes him. Throughout this entire time of Streamer U, most of the time, for some reason, I saw fake handcuffs on the ground. They were just orphan handcuffs. And so I've had these handcuffs, I don't know if I can see them anywhere near me right now, but I've had these handcuffs cuffed to my belt loops for really every single one of the days ever since having them. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't know when these are going to come in handy, but I'm sure they will eventually. And this was the time. I raise up my handcuffs and I go, do we need to cuff him? And then Ludwig, he like looks at my handcuffs for a second. He goes, what? I said, do we need to cuff him? And he goes, yes, we'll use those handcuffs. And then we go on this huge venture, which was so much fun, to track down Arky's black market. And honestly, not even to shut down the black market, but to just get the 10 gifted Lud deserves. And so we go do that, and it's a really great time. I do get to somewhat almost threaten and handcuff a person. That was awesome. And it was just this really fun interaction. And Ludwig did, in fact, assist so well in that whole, content farming situation. And it was just really, it was really fun. It was really great. And I actually haven't seen the reasoning as to why Ludwig chose to raid me afterwards. I haven't seen what that decision making process was. I don't know if like chat had a huge part in it. But either which way, I had a great time. And then I got the Ludwig raid, and it made things even more awesome. Chat picked. Oh my gosh. Thank you, chatties. Oh, we were so, that was a W clip. Bro, Hikey just decided raid Blasian, but Blasian freaked out. Yes, I heard that Blasian was one of the contenders. And when I heard that, though, I genuinely, I think Blasian's a really awesome creator. Great guy. So when people actually told me that I was not going to get chosen for the raid and that Blasian was going to get chosen, but honestly valid. But somehow, in some miracle of a way, I ended up getting the raid, which was so cool. And that was a highlight of my night. That was a highlight of my time. I will say this, since we're talking about highlights, and we're going to get to the whole streamer game situation. I, in my personal opinion, feel like when you're thinking about the mass majority of the people there and how, and if, like, I don't know if this is like a first draft of a thought. But for me, I think like Ludwig kind of stands out as kind of like a unique character in the space that we were in. I think there was like a wide majority of people who did content might have not resonated with Ludwig, like in terms of like, would they be Ludwig's audience, when it comes to like troll, because Ludwig doesn't necessarily make troll content like that. He makes really chill content, really fun, like really fun, like gaming content. Like to me, that's what Ludwig is. And like, he's a chill guy. He's not this crazy, elaborate troller, and for me, I kind of sense that I was grateful that he was there, but like, that's why I gravitated towards him. So, but like in essence though, it felt like the people around me were kind of confused when I was like, when it comes to prioritizing what I want to do, this is my crowd. Low-key, the Ludbud crowd is like, these are my people, and I want to gravitate towards this audience because it is. He's kind of both a chill and wise troll. Yeah, I mean Ludwig has, I'm not saying he doesn't have a sense of humor, but he's just not this like crazy, he's not that, like, he's just a different kind of troll. But either which way, I thought that was really awesome. And so when it came to the idea, when Ludwig at the very beginning announces that potentially the people, he's going to be choosing people to be part of Streamer Games from, you know, the pool of Streamer U students, I was stoked, and it was on my radar. The reason why I say like this is something particular that connected with me was because there were many other things, like opportunities to seize, right? There was the milk sponsorship, there was, you know, Mr. Beast's 10K bags that were everywhere. You know, there were a lot of different missions that I could have gone on that were given to me in terms of opportunities by Streamer U. Different courses of action, different plot points I could go for. But I will say that my chosen plot point was that was on my radar was like the hopes of I didn't know how it was gonna happen, but I would like to get into Streamer Games, you know. And so when it came down to it, I genuinely didn't know how things were gonna pan out, but it did pan out. And I was having this discussion. It was a point of discussion when people were trying to influence me to go into Ludwig's office hours. You know, people were telling me like, go to Ludwig, like go to his, you know, people were, and even before that, like telling me to ditch agents, like chat was telling me to ditch agents lecture to go to Ludwig's. And I'm like, as much as I really love and enjoy what Ludwig has to teach, like I value the class I'm in right now, you know, and I kind of like, I did kind of, you know, I kind of told chat off. Still love you guys, but it's like, I'm not going to disrespect agent. I don't think that's what Ludwig would have wanted. You know, that's very parasocial of me, but like, you know, I could say we're friends now. But either which way, like, I'm just saying, like, in general, like, it doesn't seem like I don't want to get to, like, Streamer Games through, you know, one, being disrespectful to someone's lecture, ditching them, and or being like a teacher's pet. Like, I just didn't want to do that. And I didn't think that I was going to get into Streamer Games through like being by Ludwig's side the whole time. So there was definitely a balance in terms of my journey to Streamer Games of like, he's awesome, but I also want to still go about Streamer U in the way I want to do it. Being authentically myself, having genuine interactions, and, you know, yes, having moments of like having fun with Ludwig, but like not making that my prime. Thank you for the raid, Manji bro him. Not making that, you know, at the forefront of my mind. I'm going to just like deny everything else. But anyways, I was really like, when I got the raid, I was like I was talking with Cloyd the same night, and he's like, there is a chance that you make it into Streamer Games. So I was like, I don't know, like I don't want to get my hopes up, but I mean things are looking up. Like this does seem really great. And then eventually, like it got like, I think Sarah saw exactly like how important it was to me. Sarah, if you're just tapping in here, is my roommate. She's beautiful and amazing. But anyways, she saw it and she was also hyping it up, and she's like, you might get into there's a good chance, like there's no way you don't get into Streamer Games. And like honestly, I'm like, guys, don't get me excited about this, because like just dead don't get me excited about this, honestly. Like it will be devastating if I don't make it in. Don't get me excited. And then I'm there, I'm sitting in the crowd, and oh my gosh, like he's announcing people who get accepted into Streamer Games, and I'm holding Sarah's hand because I'm like, I have officially been convinced that I'm very potentially a candidate for this event. And I'm squeezing Sarah's hand, and then he gives such a beautiful intro to me, and I was I felt so seen and valued, and I really appreciate like the genuine like conversations him and I have had, the questions that I had to ask. I don't know, like I felt really seen. I felt like because I operated, like the questions I was asking in class were things I was genuinely curious about. I felt like it was this gratifying moment of like, wow, I really embraced who I was. I followed my curiosity. I did exactly what I would have done. I didn't have to like stretch myself in any crazy way to be anything I wasn't. Like I really did fight to operate exactly how I would have, that felt honorable, you know? And I got into this wonderful, crazy, awesome sauce event. And so when operating in that way, I'll just say like, wow, I felt a lot of gratification. I felt really proud of myself. So, you know, a little pat on my back. I know, a little self-glazed, but I genuinely, it is a lot though. Like I'm making this point of being genuinely yourself because I cannot tell you guys the amount of pressure I was under to see creators who were just so drastically different than I was. I was worried about not fitting in, and there was a part of me that didn't fit in, but it was in a good way. I think in the way that you are unempathetically yourself makes you very strong as a creator, and embracing the things that make you different is totally a-okay. Okay. Secret tech or secret advantages that I had. Like, we're gonna, you know, that was a beautiful highlight, but we're gonna switch gears. This is the secret tech that I had when it came to interacting with bigger streamers. And I am sorry if y'all do not have the same advantage I do. And I'm not going to have this advantage for long. I'm not going to lie. And I don't think that this qualifies for every single point. But I was sharing this with Chloe the other day. And for me and my personal story when it comes to streaming, streamers have not always been, like, I didn't grow up watching Twitch. I'm not as tapped in with the history of Twitch and the community as a lot of people would have liked. I don't know a lot of history of creators, and it comes with advantages and disadvantages. But all in all, like, I don't have when I meet people, I don't have a lot of context about them. I know, like, obviously I know Jason Lewine's big. I know Ludwig's big. But actually Ludwig was the person I knew most about. And it was, and I'm saying, like, it's not nearly as much as a lot of, like, Ludbugs typically do. And that's Ludbugs. Ludbugs. Either which way, I have the advantage of not knowing a lot of history, and so I feel a lot less pressure when it comes to approaching people. Because I've decided, big or not, I mean, I know these creators are big. Like, I could recognize big faces. I know what their names are. But big or not, I really am just, I drove that energy into just being excited about meeting them where they're at right now, you know? And I think that really helped me connect with them in the most genuine way I possibly could. And it was awesome. I really loved just, like, being present in the moment, not getting too caught up in, like, it just felt like making friends, like normal, you know, friends who liked what I liked, and that excited me. And so it took the stress off of, like, ooh, is this a big creator? What's their history? What should I say and not say? And I'm sure I made mistakes, for sure. I'm sure I, like, said some, like, there were some like, here's the thing. I didn't know Yugi had a thing. Okay, I don't know about to talk. I didn't know Yugi had, like, a history of making women cry. I didn't know that was a thing. And they were really clip farming it heavy, and I did not, like, Yusuf and him were like, Yugi made you cry, right? And I just was going with the bit. I was just LARPing with them. I was like, yeah, Yugi made me cry, and I broke his leg, and we brawled off stream, like, and he shoved me, and I cried. Like, I said that, but I didn't know it was, like, legitimately like a thing that Yugi has made girls cry, and that's what we were playing into. I just didn't know. And that, like, that's maybe one of the disadvantages of, like, oh, they're trying to do a bit with me, but I genuinely don't know where it's coming from. But yeah, either which way, that was maybe a layer of advantages too when it came to connecting with bigger streamers. And that's my secret sauce. And I actually really enjoy, I will say that I am who I am, though, because I don't consume. I think there's advantages and disadvantages of this. I don't think I recommend this one way or the other. I'm not a huge brain rotted person. I will admit, I spend a majority of my time, if I do have any, watching anime. That's what I do. I love anime. And I love cooking, and I love hanging out with my friends. I love hanging out with y'all, and I play Valorant, and that's how my personality is built. You know, that's where a lot of my humor is built. And then any other kind of jokes or humor is, like, I get it from my extremely funny roommates. Holy shit!
Huge and Thraven tipped $50.
Holy, thank you for the 50, Huge Enduran. Huge! Can we get W's in the chat? Holy 50. Thank you so much. You just paid for my check bag going to Streamer Games. Actually, you paid for my Uber going to the event. Thank you so much. Yeah. Freaking W's, guys. Be either which way. Because I'm not like super avid of like a Twitch watcher. What was I gonna say? I think though, I approach content, and this confuses a lot of people. It does. But I put a lot of weight into making, and I'm not saying you can't make a genuine connection otherwise, but I am just saying, like, for me, it's like, wow, like I just like making friends. I like meeting people I connect well with and just spending time with them. And regardless of whatever like Twitch history comes with them, like I'm just like, I'm there to be present in the moment and meet them where they're at for the most part. And I'm sure things will change as like I get more into this world and have to know context when meeting people. But for the most part, it's kind of like a really fun thing just to like be around them, be with them, and hang out. So that's me as a content creator though, and that's just something I love. And it's my comfortable way of making content. I will say the opposite end of the spectrum is Kai Cenat, who is constantly watching so many creators. I think and I think some of the most funny people I know, who have a great sense of humor and are super brain rotted, and are avid watchers and are very innovative. And I think I lose out on innovation when I don't watch other streams. So I wouldn't say it's an advantage either which way. All I'll say is that that's how I operated going forward, and it comes with its advantages and disadvantages. Okay, guys, I've had enough chattering on my end. This was my streamer news story. Last piece of advice: get rest. It's okay to rest. Don't beat yourself up. I got sick. I was deathly ill yesterday, and I don't know how. Everyone W's in the chat for Cloyd, because we did in fact. Hi Mixwiz. We did in fact. I'm not gonna leave, guys. We did in fact. What was I say? We did in fact. Cloyd took care of me really well yesterday. I got so sick though. I could not move. I got really, really sick. There was a streamer use sickness going on, and I felt pain all over my body. The adrenaline was gone. Literally, there was no part of my body that didn't hurt, and it was excruciating. And I was extremely scared that this was going to be a sickness that stuck with me all the way till Streamer Games, honestly. So find time to rest. It's okay. Running on 3 hours of sleep is really hard and tough on the body, especially over the course of 5 days. It's not sustainable. And honestly, my initial intentions was to get rest, and I just couldn't. But either which way, we are entering. I don't want something bad to happen to you. What? Why'd you say that? Either which way, we're entering into the Q&A phase. But before you guys start asking your questions, if there are any, let me read off some names. People I was not able to honor during this time. Aeon Guard, thank you for the sub. Thank you, Mr. Chapstick. Thank you. Gno619, thank you for the sub. Jabby Borger, thank you for the sub. Deepsin, thank you for the sub. Then Rebnix continued their sub Prime gift to tier 1, which is awesome sauce as well. Thank you guys. All right, guys. Now I am in fact reading chat. Thank you for the story. So entertaining. Tillis, thank you for enjoying. Thank you. I love your makeup. Thank you, Bunny. You are so nice. Are you bringing a camera person to streamer cameras? It's gonna suck if streamer games. It's gonna suck if you don't. I am in fact bringing a cameraman to streamer games. I'm so lucky to have Kenward, W Kenward in the chat. He's gonna be coming with us. He is based in, I think, San Fran, and he's gonna drive to LA to be with us, spend time with us. I'm really excited for him to be our cameraman, to work alongside us. I love him. He is transitioning out of streaming to pivot, still be in content in one way or another, and we're going to navigate that. But I really love Kenward. I'm really excited to do that with him. So yes, I will in fact be having a cameraman. I'm so excited. The person that is going to cameraman for me for Streamer Games though is Cloyd. So if you guys see me at Streamer Games itself, I will in fact, it will be Cloyd first for those 2 days and then Kenward for the rest of the time. I'm actually extending my trip. And you guys can, spread the word if you guys would like me to collaborate with any other streamers. Tillis TV, thank you for the sub. If you guys would like to extend the word to other streamers you would want me to collaborate with, I will be extending my trip all the way to the 7th to collab with people. I do have a couple collabs already planned, but I'm hoping to make good connections, be in LA for, more than just 2 days to kind of see what the vibes are like and to get collabs in wherever I want to. All right, questions. I got answers. The way Lud announced you to Streamer Games is so cute with that edit of your roommate. I loved that edit. In fact, I love that edit so much. I'm just thinking, like, there's no point in me posting my own, but I probably still will post my own. They send the roster tomorrow, I think. All right, so are there drafts for Lud's thing? I should know this. Well, maybe I checked the Discord. I haven't checked the Discord yet. I was so focused on getting the stream out that I haven't seen it yet. Who's a streamer that wasn't at Streamer U that you're most excited to meet at the games? Lily Pichu and Squeaks. But most of all, if Lily Pichu is going to be at the games, also KDB, bro. KDB though. Oh, KDB though. I love KDB and Vanilla Mix. But yes, that's a streamer that I'm super excited if they're possibly there, and maybe even Michael Reeves. I love those people. So yeah. Not a question, but a stream idea. You and 3 of your roommates versus FSLR, Lud, Ray, Fusely, and Squeaks in a game or a few different games. That would be crazy awesome. In fact, I saw Ludwig playing Valorant the other day, and I actually had to tap out of his Valorant stream because I love Valorant so much. I'm just like, wow, I wish I could play Valorant with Ludwig. And it's very possibly maybe even a stream idea. Thank you guys for the Prime. I'm very honored to receive Primes. As someone who also admires Ludwig, I feel the joy from Prime subs. Pigs and zombies, thank you for the Prime. I hope you collab soon with my Go Extra Emily. Genuinely, I was surprised. Okay, I wasn't sure if me and her would mesh well. Guys, I love Extra Emily. Oh my actual goodness. She was so fun to be around. She was one of my favorite, when the alumni came in, I was like, no way. I actually, it was during frat night, and oh my gosh, someone find the clip somewhere, somehow. I'm going to find the clip if no one else does. But I'm there and I approach her at the party. I'm just like, hey, to Emily again. And she goes, no, I've seen you. I saw your intro. My Kai Cenat intro, and I was like, oh, that's your first impression of me. But I was really excited. So yeah, she's literally never not gone along with a streamer on stream. Extra Emily or Fumi Bean. I just freaking love Extra Emily. She's so cool. She's so down to earth. And we actually filmed a fun TikTok together, and she was so down for it. If you guys are new to my content, actually one of my most popular reels on Instagram is a nearly 10 million view reel, and it's about me being a bad driver. And so that's when I premised to her, I was like, Emily, one of my most famous TikToks is about me being a bad driver. Could we make a TikTok of us Asian girls sitting at a table and, we're bad drivers? So it's like a table full of girls that are bad drivers. And she's like, yes, I love that idea. And she was so down for it. I was worried that it crossed a boundary. I didn't know if it was a touchy subject. Just because of stuff that has happened. But damn, do I love. Justin Lewine Island Cooking Collab. Ferretin. I read that. That actually genuinely, for example, if Jason ever just decides he wants to be on an island again, and then has me flown out into the island to just cook something, make use of fake or real ingredients on the island and I have to cook something up for him, that would be like such a fun collab. Genuinely. When that idea, and here's the thing, I have a really funny story about that whole situation. Genuinely, it was like I said the idea, and the idea was so, if you guys saw that moment in Adapt's class, basically Jason says that we're ready for an idea and we do not have an idea for Adapt at all. And I take the two ideas that him and I both have together. He wants to do boxing on an island. I want to do comfort cooking with streamers. What?
You're good.
What?
There's scissors.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just cleaning out downstairs.
Okay.
Yo, you know what you should do?
What?
You should do have you seen people do this tier list? The streamer you tier list?
Oh yeah, should I do that?
And talk about your experience with everyone.
With every streamer?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
Okay, bye. That's y'all, guys.
Oh, and we're playing board games in Brian's room if you want to join us.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do want to play. Is he streaming it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe later, yeah. Okay. What was I saying? I swear he just came in here to bother me. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-dee, la-di-da-di-da. Suddenly I call my name and I lose my brain. I run up to the moon. La-di-da-di-dee, la-di-da-di-da. Suddenly you call my brain and I lose my brain and I float up to the moon. Oh, that used to be my W stem, bro. That used to be my W stem. Ron did the tier list today. Wait, that's actually W. I'm reading old messages because I'm just slowing things down. So let me do that. I was talking about the Justin Lewin thing. Oh, I was telling you a story of like, okay, he says his idea, boxing on an island. And then I say my idea, comfort cooking with streamers. Cooking their comfort food with streamers in a kitchen. And then he tells Adapt that we're ready. And on the spot, I have to go and I look at I look at Jason and I'm like, are we dead ass? Because we are not ready for this idea. And I look at Adapt and I go, we are on an island and we are using the ingredients on the island. And I'm sure there will be struggles, so we're gonna brawl afterwards. And then he goes, box. And I said, box. And that's where it came from. So that's really good. Klaus, I see you. You say, I'm super proud of you, Fumi. I'm glad people get to see this side of you and just simply enjoy, support your journey. Actually, true facts. Actually, truest of facts of all the facts in the world. You guys are so awesome. No drafts this year. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know that. I'm going to catch up with chat. Now I'm looking at chat, guys. I'm so sorry. You might have to repeat yourself. Yo, you and Justin the Ween were a good duo. Really? Okay, I'm going to be so honest. Guys. Can I be honest right now? I felt like Jason got really quiet around me. I wasn't sure. Okay, it might just be a thing, but I felt like I saw other kids. I'm like, Jason's really talkative around everyone else. I was like, but I think we got along. I'm not saying we didn't get along, but he's super quiet. I'm rooting for you. I really hope you succeed as a creator. Thank you, Exia. But yeah, any other questions? Bro, you got imposter syndrome for real? I don't know. Just like an energy thing. What sport do you think you'd be confident in streamer games? Let me tell you guys, volleyball is my sport. I love volleyball. And if there's no volleyball this year, I'm going to cry. Tell me, guys, do we know what sports are going to be? Because I love volleyball, bro. I'm Hmong. I play volleyball. Bro, I dead love volleyball. Like, it's in my blood. You know ball? Facts. For me being going to the store, do you want anything? Let me think about this. I actually have the grocery shop. I would just love some bread. I don't mind wheat bread. Wheat bread's good. Or if there's like really fluffy, any kind of really fluffy bread, I would like. And I might be running out of peanut butter. So maybe peanut butter. And I typically like to cook chicken wings. So if you could get a pack of chicken wings, that'd be great. Thank you, Dragon. 619. Thank you. Oh, Raspberry says, "Hi, I'm as well a Hmong person, a Hmong American, and I think it's so beautiful for you to carry your identity across your platform. How has your Hmong identity shaped your experience streaming?" Here's the thing, guys. I don't want to be fraudulent to you guys, so I'm going to say it. I'm just going to share it with you guys. I have had to learn to grow into my Hmong heritage. I don't think this is talked about a lot in terms of the Hmong American experience. I think there is an assumption that, there's camaraderie amongst Asians in general. Like, other Asians see other Asians and they just feel like interconnected. It is not that way. Being Hmong, like, we are hill tribe people. First of all, we are, from the mountains of Laos, Thailand, Vietnam. We are not, sometimes it does feel like the Asians that are really admired is like Japanese and Korean. And in general, though, like, it's not being Hmong is not like a mainstream thing. And seeing our culture, like, it's just not a thing. And that's why I like to rep my Hmong cultures, because the little girl version of myself did not get to grow up looking up to a Hmong girl, hopefully more so now. I think little girls have many Hmong girls to look up to nowadays. But for me, like, no one knows what Hmong is. No one knows what our traditional wear looks like. But in my own personal experience, I did grow up wishing I was any other Asian. I would ask myself, I'm just like, bro, like, why was I born? Like, I was born Asian. I like that. But, like, I'm also one of them unknown Asians. Like, I don't even know what I am. In fact, my parents told me at one point, like, just to make it easy for people, just say you're Chinese. Because, like, it's a lot to talk about, like, what we are and how we got to the States and what that looks like and what our story is. Because, low-key, our story is how the Hmong people got over into the U.S. Long, deep, dark story. I'm not going to lie. Thank you, Tapu, for the sub, for the prime. But how has my Hmong identity shaped my experience streaming? Don't want to be fraudulent, because I did have a hard time identifying with my Hmong identity. But in order to make it so that young girls get to be proud and not want to set aside their ethnicity and, like, feel less than, or not related to, because they don't see representation anywhere, I want to be that representation. And no, I can't speak Hmong. That's just the Hmong American experience. It's just another thing that came with being Hmong American. Hmong is a very, I would say, one of the more simple languages, but also is, it's very tonal. But it is like, we don't have our own written language. It's just not a common thing. And my parents were scared of me getting held back. And so I just ended up not learning it. And I didn't grow alongside. And just in general, a Hmong community anywhere is very small. So it's not like I had the benefit of having a strong Hmong community that would speak to me in Hmong and teach me what my culture really was. And it wasn't until I was an adult of where, being a part of the Hmong church, and being a part of, like, different Hmong communities, I learned, like, I can be what defines, like, Hmong culture. I'm Hmong, and, the people around me, the family that's around me, like, we can pave whatever it looks like to have Hmong culture in the States. I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. And so either which way, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be Hmong, represent Hmong, and have my own experience. And I don't think I have to be whatever it means to be super Hmong. I think what it means to be Hmong American in America might look like you don't know Hmong and you had a really hard time identifying yourself as Hmong growing up, because you just had you didn't have the community to show you what that looks like. Thankfully, because of, my family in Wisconsin, that I love, really showed me what it looked like. Because if you guys are not as familiar with the Hmong community, a lot of us are condensed in Minnesota and in Wisconsin. And I ended up moving and living in Wisconsin for a while. And that was where I learned to love Hmong community even more, because there are so much more Hmong people. I learned what family meant. I learned so much about love through my experience in being there, and it helped me appreciate and love my Hmong identity even more. And it didn't take having to be an adult. I think I always strived to embrace my Hmong identity through art and through just like learning and being excited about, okay, this is what makes me different, and let me embrace that for a second. So yeah, it's very layered, it's very nuanced, and it's very not something I expect other people to accept or understand. But thank you for that insightful question, Raspberries, and I'm glad that you feel represented well. Hi, Fumi. Did you see Twitch's Insta post about Picture Day? You were featured. Oh my gosh, guys, you should check it out. I actually, in order to shout out this stream, did in fact use that picture. Bang, there I am. Boom. And you know what's crazy about this picture? If you guys want to see it, I'm actually wearing Silky's hat. Silky from Core. He dropped it on the ground while chasing people, and I picked it up. I didn't know it was Silky's. And I was like, whoa, this is a cool hat. Just like the handcuffs I picked up before. And I was like, wow, this is a really fun, cool hat. It's just kind of an orphan, and I will be taking this hat. And so I took it, put it on my head, and then eventually I think Silky's comm got to me, and they're like, that's Silky's hat. And I was like, oh. And then they're like, and then Silky yells out to me, he says, yo, just keep that hat safe. And I was like, cool, I'll keep it safe. I'll keep it secret. I'll keep it safe. And then I go and I do my picture day with it. And so me and Silky actually have matching picture day hats. Bang. Low-key swag. And what's funny is that before this picture and before I picked up this hat, I was debating on whether or not I wore a hat to my picture day, because it was kind of like a people said it was a swagapino moment, but I was just like aiming for early 2000s. Like, nice guys, finish last. It's this video here. Sorry, that's one. But either which way, like, I filmed that, and then I'm like, wait, this is actually a really fun look. I should just look like this for picture day. And I go, nah, I won't wear a hat. It's all right, I won't wear a hat. And then I pick up Silky's hat, and I'm just like, bang. Swagapino, early 200s Asians, right on the dot. Facts. Let me see this. Any more questions? Jean Clan here. Love that you're repping for the monks. Keep it up. Thank you, the Pew. You said that you did not watch Twitch very much before streaming. So what got you into streaming? Honestly, I had some friends that streamed. If you guys want the true unsolicited answer. Here, I always had an interest in general in streaming. The idea of it. But what got me into it was okay, let me premise this. For some reason, a couple of my exes wanted to be streamers. And I was fully supportive of it. It's odd. Actually, all of my exes at a certain point in time have wanted to be streamers. And for me, I actually was, I shared, I want to initially be a digital artist. Like I wanted to be a digital artist, content creator, and I put myself in a position where I was making emotes for streamers. And I always thought that I was going to have like a supporting role in that way. Like I just wanted to support streamers, make their emotes, make their graphics. I mean, you guys saw my overlays and stuff like that. All the emotes that you see, like I draw those emotes. My profile picture, like I do that profile picture because I love art. And I was like, well, you know what? I am not someone that craves I don't need to be in the limelight. I could just support streamers and make money off of making emotes and whatnot. So time went on, and I got to see glimpses of what streaming looked like and what maybe the setup would look like. And I think I'm just the kind of partner that is is one that wants to strategize with my partner. If they want to be a streamer, I'm there to be like, let's figure out how you can become a streamer, you know? And so that was my intro into like the idea of what, you know, what potentially a streamer journey could look like. And then I ended up dating a guy who was a streamer, and a YouTuber, and I did get inspired. He got me into streaming to a certain extent just by inspiring me and telling me to go for it. And then I did. I went for it. We're no longer dating. Great guy, but just didn't work out. And yes, my boyfriend Cloyd is a streamer. I don't think I have a type though. Like Cloyd's my type. But anyways, that's what got me initially into streaming. But I will say the biggest determining factor was how I was getting enlightened on the idea of a gaming community, and wanting to share the genuine moments that I have while gaming and and honestly making friends on Valorant. And for me, I was having some really fun times. Like I genuinely I was like, this is such a great thing. Like there's no way I don't want to share this fun experience with the world. So that's what I did. So yeah, there we are. Heard you mention enjoying storytelling. Are there any plans for you to implement that into your content? Honestly, team streamer games would make for a fun D&D crew. First of all, I think I would love to experiment D&D, like streaming D&D, but for me, it's most fun like in person. Like I really don't want to play D&D online. Like for me, it's not fun. I want to be in person. So it would take a little bit more of an advanced setup to do D&D. But in general though, I do like when it comes to the stream, anyone who's new here, I love to read bedtime stories. I love to make up, like I do love to write stories. I actually used to, if you find my art YouTube channel, I was writing a webtoon for a while, and I would do write with me's, and I would film those write with me's, just me generating ideas. And then I would incorporate ideas with art and film, and it was really fun for me. So maybe in the new, I was actually contemplating, like, I really want to get back into doing write with me's, like just developing stories and, doing that live. So I was really excited. So maybe in the near future. Let me know. Are you related to Suni? No, I'm not related to Suni. Who are your fave digital art YouTubers? I got a few as well. Let me think about this. My favorite digital art YouTubers, I'd have to look at. They have such like I have a lot of digital art. Hold on. Let me check. Also, I'm hungry, guys. I'm hungry and I should eat. Well, guys, can we get W in the chat? We hit 2K on two of my on both my channels, my art channel and my gaming channel. Nice guys finished last. That's why I treat you like trash. It's not really who. So there's one creator called Fernanda Diaz, and she creates these. I don't know if y'all have seen this. Yeah. No, it's like that one's really cool. I mostly watch their shorts though. Other than that, well, in terms of like artists, kind of artists, but I really liked Hono Bread. I really liked Hono Bread's like storytelling and animation. She has really great videos, and I actually thought like this is the kind of content I could or would make if I had the chance. I think Lily does some of these as well. But Hono Bread has some really great stories. Lily used to do more story things like this, maybe. I remember like Lily has like animated podcasts or like mini bits that are animated. But I think if I grew and if I scaled up as a streamer, doing story time or like asking other artists, digital artists, to animate some moments with me and my friends, it would be so cool. Micah asks, you also want to be a voice actor, no? I do want to be a voice actor. And I talk about this all the time on stream. I'm sorry if people are sick of me sharing this. But I was telling Yugi and Yusuf this. I do want to be a voice actor. And the reason why I admire Lily Pichu so much is that she kind of has the, I wouldn't say career route, but she has the same, like, she does the same things that I wish I could do. She does music, she sings, I can't play the piano, but I love that she sings. Like, I love that she makes music. I want to make music one day. And then she's a voice actor for anime. That is such a dream. She also has a Filipino boyfriend, and my boyfriend's Filipino. So, like, what are the odds? Fumi, what's your schedule looking forward? What days do you go live? I want to go live as often as possible, but also as efficiently as possible. Which leads me to this. I actually forgot to mention this, is my desire to look for an editor and a clipper. And I actually told 2 people today, if Neokyo is here, this is for you. And if Max is here, Max actually created a channel called Fumi's Legumes, which is a great channel name. I actually really like that. But they posted a YouTube video of me talking about.
What kind of content does Fumi's Legumes?
Alexa, stop. Alexa, just chill. But either which way, they went ahead and they made a video, and I thought that was awesome. But if I'm looking for, this is one of the lectures that I wish I went to. I didn't get to go and see this lecture of Ludwig's. But he did talk about the process of looking for an editor. But I'm just going to talk about what I'm looking for. I haven't seen what he said, but I'm going to go back and look at that video because I think it'll inform me better on how to scout people. But when it comes to looking for an editor, it needs to align with it needs to be someone who genuinely, one, believes in me as a streamer. I know that sounds like base, but like they need to like what I do. Y'all need, like, an editor needs to like my content, because if you don't like my content, if you don't believe in me as a streamer, then you're not going to have the passion you need to continue to make content for me every day, you know? And that's the kind of output I'm looking for, is a very, at least every other day we post. 2 is my mission as a streamer is, being kind, being loving, putting out positivity into the world. Yes, having a sense of humor, but they, like, the edits and like the clipping and the story that needs to be told needs to come from a place of, like, I'm being genuinely me. It can't be edited in a way that's like, I don't know, overly abrasive, which, I don't know, it'd be hard to, like, make overly abrasive content of me, I feel like, given the materials. But either which way, the story that needs to be told needs to come from that place of kindness, love, authenticity, vulnerability. I think that the strongest point in my journey as a streamer and the content that I make is being authentic. There's a guy, a wise streamer man once said that authenticity is forever food. Don't know who said that. It was Ludwig. But either which way, authenticity is forever food. And that's what I'm striving for, always and forever. So I would need an editor and a clipper who's on that same page of, like, this is what Fumi stands for. Being kind, being loving, being authentic. And yeah, there's that. And if there is an editor or a clipper out there who aligns with that, who likes my content, who won't get bored of all my yapping sessions, who can sit through my yapping sessions and actually enjoy going through and combing that content, getting rid of the fluff, because hell, there's a lot of fluff. We need to be able to tell a story together that is concise. And I'm so sorry for the tangents that I go on, but I'm so sorry, my editors, but you're gonna have to clean through all of the fluff, all of the stimming, and maybe if it calls for a little stim break just to show a little bit of humor, include the stim break or whatever, la di da di la di da da and whatnot. But I think, just like live feedback from the Fumi's Legumes content, it would just be creating a tighter edit and maybe not getting too crazy with sound effects and whatnot, but like I'm interested in seeing how an editor can create my, seemingly chill content that's more of like a FaceTime call, just being your friend and being here and present. And how do we turn that into something that's more engaging so it's more universal? I want to be chill, but I want to have content that's universal. I want to be able to connect with audiences that have lower retention. That's a mission going forward and something that I'm struggling with because, I can cut down my yapping, but how is it that I have a balance of retention and efficiency and making it so I can extend my content to those who wouldn't typically gravitate towards me? So when it comes to that though, I can't. If you don't have a record of working with cozy streamers or just chatting streamers, and if you don't have like anything to show in terms of like, this is a creator that creates certain like very similar content to you, and this is how I've edited it to be exciting, to retain, but also maintain the integrity of, it still aligns with your brand. If you don't have that, you unfortunately would have to edit. It doesn't need to be crazy. Like it could just literally be a 5-minute video and show me how you would edit it. And a good thumbnail is a good thumbnail. Honestly, for me, I can make my own thumbnails. Y'all don't have to worry about it, but it would look like, and I do this a lot, but like I'm an editor myself. I like to edit, and that's why I'm very resistant when it comes to looking for an editor, because I trust me to edit, and I edit quick. I can't sit around and wait for an editor that I can edit faster than. So that's one thing. But the second thing is sometimes when we are just getting started, I might make changes to your edit, and you need like the person that I work with in terms of an editor, and if you're just starting out and you're getting your foot in the door, we're going to work together to come up with a final product that aligns with me, in hopes that I give something to you or you take it upon yourself to make the video and nothing needs to necessarily be touched. I'll watch the video before posting it. But all in all, I hope to get to a place where I don't have to touch the video. But I will be, just because I have an editor background. I'm very particular, and I've always been very intentional about the kinds of videos and what's out there. So it did scare me a little bit, Fumi's Legumes, to see content of me, but honestly, it was done well. It was done well. And whatever. I mean, ideally, we're not making a bunch of channels of me and then posting, but I mean, it's fine. I don't know. Ideally, come to me with a video, send me the video, and we would work on it together. But if you are scared of me like releasing a video without your consent and using you, which would be crazy and cancelable, I don't really plan on doing that. I wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, all in all, I will say those are my requirements for an editor and a clipper. I would need someone who is self-motivated, someone who doesn't have the ego, who's willing to learn, even if you're just getting started. And yes, you're going to have to come up with an example using my content. Doesn't need to be anything crazy, but show me what your work looks like. I can't just rely on, hey, I've got a lot of emails. And I know like the big streamers say this all the time. I've gotten a lot of emails about, hey, I'm an editor. They don't show me any of their work. They don't show me any of their work. They don't tell me about, and honestly, if you're going to come to me with that, like tell me why does my content resonate with you? I am looking for someone who genuinely likes me for me. Genuinely likes for me, Because that's the only way we're going to come up with that I can trust you to be consistent and have the drive and passion to create content alongside me. So, maybe I was very repetitive with myself, but I got a lot of people reaching out to me, and I need to, oh, hi, Clyde. But yeah, are we beating a dead horse? 3-pointer straight green. All right, I'm catching up. I'm catching up with y'all. I'm reading. I'm actually going to the latest chats right now. Ask your questions. Fuck, I have an ego. I'm so sorry, Squig Floor Drops. Why not just have Fumi Lagoons do the videos and communicate with them the kind of edits you want? Question mark. It's because I want to be. Ludwig says that he watches all of his videos before they're released, and I agree with that. I want there to be good intentions. You know, I want to be intentional. I don't want to. When it comes to scaling, I think this is what I wouldn't want to get. I think it would be a mistake to say, guys, don't care, like create all these, you know, whatever clippers and whatever channels, like do that and like create content of me. I think that would be a mistake. Ideally, when I work with an editor, if it's backed by me, if it's a channel that is backed by me and it's something that I have a stamp of approval on and I say, you are my editor, I am watching the videos and confirming the thumbnails before it is released. I, in every which way possible, desire to be a very intentional streamer. There are going to be times where I don't have time to prepare and I make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. But as much as possible, I do want to be very careful with this. Mayor, thank you for the sub so much. And Dev Pain, thank you for this. Thank you for the prime. Thank you. It would actually be mad fun to edit, but there's no way I could pump with the speed you need. Yeah, I'm looking for someone who is quick and efficient when it comes to editing. I have a really hard time waiting on content to get put out. Should there be a channel in Discord for that? Yes, my mods. If you could make a channel specifically for editor applications, we can talk about it. Like, I think y'all should build off one another, see the kind of work other editors are submitting. I'd like to see that. I really would like to see that. Mods, if you can get on that. Will, if that was you, let's make a separate channel in my Discord. Join the Discord, !Discord, and let's all work together and y'all can compare one another. And when I do end up choosing an editor, when I'm combing through, we'll talk. But you guys will be able to see like what your competition looks like in terms of like, because I think there's so many editors out there who want to get their foot in the door, and I think y'all can learn from each other as well. I'm interested, and also I have a lot of streamer friends who might want to pick you as an editor. Cloyd is looking for an editor, and we are in desperate need of looking for people that have the passion and the drive, people that connect with our content, and we are desperate. We need them. We need you guys, and so feel free to take part in that. Let's see. About storytelling. Selbit, a Brazilian streamer, will be at Streamer Games as well. He streams TTRPG with plus 2 video games and stuff. I think you can have great talks with him. He's a really nice person as well. No, most definitely. That sounds really fun. Holy Raid. Thank you, Mice. It's great to see you. Couldn't you just hire the person and tell them how they should do it because they are a dedicated fan? We're talking about efficiency. We are talking about people who truly have the passion and the drive. Passion, drive, ambition, all shows within show me what you can do. Genuinely. You do have to prove yourself. In this world, you do have to prove yourself. No one's just going to take your word for it and trust you. And honestly, it would be a waste of my time to really invest in someone who doesn't have it in them to do it. So that's why I can't just take a fan's like word for it and then invest a lot of time in them and improving their edits when there's someone out there who's more willing, like Fumi's Legumes, to actually make the video, execute, and show them that they have they have the right idea of like putting out content fast. And then maybe there would just be a little bit tweaks. In fact, I'm looking at Fumi's legumes. I'm like, this is pretty good, Max. You did it. You took initiative, and I like this from you. There are things I would have changed about the edits, but like not too much. Like I really appreciate this. They made a thumbnail and everything, and I think it was really great. I love that. I love that from them. Are you looking into doing YouTube videos as well, like behind the scenes and such? Yes, I love behind the scenes. I love making YouTube videos. I started out on YouTube. You know, I started out wanting to be a YouTube creator. So when it came to the content funnel, genuinely, like it's something that when Ludwig talked about the content funnel, it was something I'd already been implementing, taking my long form content and creating. Oh, Vera Hawk, thank you for the prime. Taking long form content and condensing it into and bringing it up into short form content. I love it. Yes. Shinobi Teddy. I'm sorry. Fumi, how did your family handle you becoming a content creator, especially coming from a Hmong family? I am Hmong myself. If you guys check out my Streamer U application, you'll see like I talk about creating videos for 18 years. The reason why it's 18 years, like I've videos of me creating content ever since I was 8 years old, was because my family, my parents somehow, for some reason, believed that I would be like an entertainer and spokesperson to a certain extent. Like they thought I was gonna be like Oprah or Ellen or something like that, have my own talk show. And they created videos of me sometimes with the idea that, you know, she has this ability to talk and yap a lot at 8 years old, and there's potential here. And so strangely enough, because this is something I think that they've always seen in me, and there wasn't a lot of resistance to it. I've been very blessed to have parents who want me to be as successful as possible, and I've never really been pushed one way or another to a certain career. My dad's in computer science. I was definitely influenced. I really want to make him proud, so I pursued computer science for a while. But I think if I earnestly told him that I was pursuing content creation, he wouldn't have a lot of, like, as long as if it was something that I was going to put my all into, and if I saw results, he was going to back. But I never really asked for their approval. I'm not going to lie. Once I was an adult and I told myself, like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And, you know, mom, please give me a roof over my head. That'd be great. She did give me a roof over my head. Thank God. But I became an adult, and then I told her, I was like, hey, I'm not going back to school. And she was scared for a second, but by the grace of that, everything is good and wonderful. I'm not going to lie. I could see it in her eyes. The fear and the mourning of not having a child that completes college and gets her college degree is a scary thing to back. And I had nothing to prove, and I only had potential to speak towards. And she really did have to just trust me as an adult that I was making the decision that was best for me. And thank God she did. I'm really glad she did. And I was not, I did in fact get into, I had ended up getting a really great job in marketing, throughout this time. You know, I had a really great time doing that. So I did work for part of it. I did graphic design. Like those were skills though that I had been building up until that time. So I wasn't completely I wasn't a bum. I did have that. So yes, thankfully I have very unique parents. There was, of course, growing up, there was different pressures from being in a Hmong family. And I did at one point give up on the idea of being a content creator. But then when I became an adult and when I moved out, I told myself that I would not be able to live with myself if I didn't try to give up everything, drop everything, and pursue content creation. And if we want to talk a little bit about what that process looks like, it's not easy. I don't recommend this to anyone. But this was something like me and Cloyd, we basically 90% of our conversations are just about content creation. So whenever I say, I talked about this with Cloyd, truly, like, this is what our conversations look like. I was talking to him about the sacrifices that came with going all in on content creation. What I sacrificed was a college education, and that's a scary, scary thing. If you guys don't know, like, actually, that's for Cloyd to share. But Cloyd has made some major life decisions. That's gonna help him move forward in content creation. But for me, I had to make a major life decision, and that was saying no to college. Super scary. That meant saying no to, if it didn't work out, it meant I didn't have a college education to show for it. I had some skills built up, I could have made you, but like pivoting and choosing that was a huge deal. So it's scary. It's scary. And I like, there were tons of sacrifices to be made, but that was one of them. Thank God we are here today where, like, I'm feeling a little bit of a breakout moment. I'm feeling like the ball is rolling, and I'm really happy about it. And hopefully we sustain this. Hopefully the like engagement is sustained. The people that come out of like Streamer Games and Streamer U, the viewers, that y'all take a liking to me and help, and stick with me in this journey. I'm hoping, I'm going to work my best to do that. But yeah, let's see this. Moving on to other questions. All right, I'm going to go to my most recent. Thank you, Jinso. Jinso, as a fellow Hmong person, very proud of how far you came. I hope you the best on your career. You make us proud. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad I could represent well. Yofumi, saw you on a couple core streams and wanted to say you funny AF. W. Thank you, Asian baby. Core is really cool. I think I've said this before, but not being dead ass, not being tapped in on streaming, I'm not as familiar with who's in what streamer group. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit out of it. So when interacting with core people or anyone from any other group, it was hard to remember who was in what group and who's associated with what, Are you going to do a content house introduction stream so the new viewers can meet them? I definitely could. They are currently doing something crazy. You could shout out Brian's here. That's my thing. But I'll introduce them at a different time. I'm a little bit worn right now. I don't know if I can handle all their energy in this moment in time. Maybe if we raid them after this. Let's see this. Are you intending on doing YouTube videos that come from the streams or videos that are separate from the streams? I genuinely would optimize Belly. You guys know who you can meet though? This is my girl who I missed all of Streamer U. Let me show you guys my beautiful girl. Come here. Up. This here is Belly. This is my dearest girl. Can we get W Belly in the chat? She is my everything. She's my girl. She's so beautiful. I miss her so much. Chloe took care of her all week along with my roommates. She's so cute. Well, she's shy. She wants me to scratch her back. She's like hiding under the desk. Hi. Hey. Hi. She's silly. She's sitting on me now. Oh. Aww. Look at her. Oh, now she's laying down. Oh. Okay, you can go lay on your bed now. I was just showing Chatties you. People haven't met you yet, girl. She's an English staffy. And she's about 3 years old. Maybe 4 this year. I actually forget. She might be turning 4 this year, which is crazy. But she honestly has helped me throughout my time of being a content creator and moving to a bunch of different states, like Belly is like she's my common variable when throughout the past 4 years that we've been together. I really couldn't have done any of this without her. She's my girl. She's been here with me. It's me and Belly against the world always. Right, Belly? Yeah, I guess. She's not a puppy anymore. She's a full-on girl, big girl. Mini Mansion, thank you for the prime. Sorry I didn't say hi before. And Vera Hawk, I did say hi. Okay. Okay, go lay down now. All done. I might have to take her out soon. Oh, sorry guys. Now all dogs will be puppy with me, to me. Hi, Riptide Pod. Also hi, White Dargle. Let me think about this. That wide ass chair. I love my chair. I love my chair. I get to sit because I sit crisscross applesauce. All right, I'm catching up. Any more questions? And then we will likely raid because it's 11 o'clock now. And I need to edit. And I need to take a look at people who want to be clippers. And I need to take a look at people who want to be editors. And I need to get back to some people. So I'll take 2 more questions. And I will be raiding. Probably Brian. Maybe I'll go play some games with them. Ando Kondo. What anime am I watching right now? Hi, Ando Kondo. It's great to see you. Witch Hat Atelier is on a hiatus. I am watching Mushoku Tensei, but I will say I have my reservations about the current state of Mushoku Tensei. I don't agree with some of the concept that comes out of that. I think they've made some decisions that ick me out a little bit, so I don't know. Let me see this. What else am I watching? Mushoku Tensei. I need to watch Blood Wars. Witch Hat Atelier is like on a weird break. I watched 2 episodes of Smoking Behind the Supermarket. It's just okay. Goodbye Laura is something I want to... Baseball Jenny, thank you for the 5, you awesome saucer. You look like Jay-Z. You look like Jay-Z. You look like Jay-Z. Oh, okay. I want to watch Goodbye Laura, and I want to watch... I was watching The Warrior Princess and the so-and-so, but it's not very good. All right. Yes, can we... W's in the chat for baseball Jenny. Like Jenny. Like Jenny. Okay. Next. Oh, wait. Guys, look at that. 1,000 subs out of 6-7. Crazy. All right. Last question. Will you be doing a meet and greet next weekend for Streamer Games? Would we want that? That's the real question. Will you fix the YouTube link under your socials banner? I think if all else fails, do this. ! Socials. And this is a link to everything. Everything that I got going on. I will say that if all goes well, I'm probably not going to do a meet and greet during Streamer Games, but I may do a meet and greet during TwitchCon. I would love to. I would love to do a meet and greet during TwitchCon. And that's something I can definitely set up and be a little bit more prepared for. Can you answer my question? Why Darko repeat your question? Hopefully I see it. I'll be your bodyguard. Yes, Sakura will be my bodyguard. When's the TwitchCon meet and greet happening, Fumi? During TwitchCon, which is probably November. What's my stream schedule? My stream schedule? Let me tell you guys what my intentions in streaming going forward are. Let me just look at the dates. I'll tell you guys what I'm up to. I need to edit probably most of tomorrow. There's a lot of Streamer U stuff that I need to edit, but I might come back and do a really small stream tomorrow, like at least an hour, just to come back. Friday, I think I'm going to break out and do a little bit of IRL, and I'm going to do like training for streamer games type situation where I'm gonna go it might be a gym IRL, which is crazy for me. But my friend Leah Samurai, she's a really wonderful trainer. And she's gonna train me, and we're gonna have a little gym sesh. And you guys can see to what extent that I do my thing. And then I think another stream idea that I have floating around my head is volleyball session with Cloyd. If you guys don't know, me and Cloyd do in fact love volleyball. It's something we do together as a couple, and it might be a fun challenge, and feel free, you guys, to give me ideas for like how I can train for streamer games. But I will in fact maybe it'll be a challenge of like us, we don't end stream until we get like 100 consecutive bumps, like we bump a volleyball consecutively, that'd be really fun. Might be a forever stream, but I think it'd be fun training just to get back into my groove. But yeah, streams might look like that going forward. A lot of just chatting, a lot of but I do want to prioritize, we're content funneling. So you might see less streams, more YouTube videos, more clipages, a lot of short form. I really want to catch up on my short form. The story that I tell you guys today, I want to reflect in my, all around. Like you guys heard the story from today in this stream, but I want to tell that story. I want to, content funnel. I want you guys to see the story also on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Like it needs to be seen. And because I don't have, I'm scaling up, I'm trying to do better. There's also the need for sponsorships and brands. Like as I grow as a streamer, I have to kind of slow down and look into how do I freaking make this a life? If I have traction, like how do I make it sustainable? And how do I, if you guys saw Ludwig's streams or Ludwig's lectures, a lot of his income is from sponsorships. A lot of his income is from like YouTube, a lot of other things. So I'd really like to find how to grow as a streamer, without being solely dependent on your beautiful subs, which is also awesome and great. Hugin the Raven, thank you so much for the 5 subs. You are so awesome. Thank you for contributing to this channel. As a small streamer, I am gonna say, guys, I'm very limited. And I want to talk about this going forward, but I haven't seen a lot of results yet. Getting brand deals, getting sponsorships, getting connected, and growing in terms of, finding just like, what's it? Just a variety of sources of income outside of purely subs is really important to me, and I'm really trying to work my hardest to find what that looks like and honestly give advice to you guys, but I'm still on that journey. And so, you guys will be hearing from me when I get it there, but I'm doing my best. But Spawnlux, I think you said something really sweet, and it says, "Hey, I really love the vibe of your streams. You always make everyone feel welcome. You're a huge inspiration to me as a new creator working on my own YouTube channel. Thanks for putting out such awesome content." Spawnlux, I'm really glad. And honestly, I was thinking about this when I got the Ludwig grade. I am so incredibly grateful that it was Ludwig that rated me, and you guys, he has such a welcoming and beautiful audience. The people that connected with me from the questions and the things I was saying during class, wow, blown away. You guys are really awesome, and I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate, I don't need an audience that just gasses me up all the time, but an audience that appreciates me for me is beautiful. It's the most gratifying thing in the world. As someone who does have a lot of, I don't know, imposter syndrome, someone who, like, I've always been the kind of person who makes friends one-on-one, and I can really, I develop a relation. All my best friends are like, not from like a friend group. All my best friends are people that I met individually, and we run as duos, like separate duos. I've never had like a friend group. I've never like been like in a place that has like a big community of people that is just like welcoming and accepting. I've always worked very individual. And now to have this community that just like really appreciates me and like sees me and likes the content I put out is very gratifying. So I appreciate you guys, you know, ding. Let's see this. You should post your schedules. I will try, but keep up with my Instagram. I always announce when I have something planned. Thank you, the little emperor girl. You make the rest of us Hmong girlies so proud. I found you through TikTok actually, but keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much, you guys. Are you planning any gaming streams soon? I would love to play Valorant. Actually, guys, type 1 if you are Slay the Spire lover. Please, I need to know. Do you guys like Slay the Spire? I'm obsessed with it. Type 1. Type 1 if you're a Slay the Spire lover. 0, 2, 1, 1, 1. Guys, I love Slay the Spire 2. Yeah, Slay the Spire 2, huge in the Raven. I love it. And I actually am addicted to it. And I've been playing here. I've been playing it and I'm craving it. I am craving it so much. And I need to hit, so I'm on Ironclad and I'm obsessed with Ironclad, but I haven't been able to hit A10 yet. And I'm thinking my next gaming stream, and that might be what tomorrow looks like, I don't end stream until I hit A10. And every single time I lose, because we are training for streamer games, there is a physical punishment I have to go through, and that is push-ups or hanging on a bar. We have like a hanging bar, and I'm gonna have to hang for like 30 seconds. Like there's gonna have to be actual punishments that go on if every single time I lose. There's no cheating, no resetting. I need that A10 though. I dead ass need A10 on Ironclad, and I'm actually just so I can't get it. I feel like I have to have a god run or nothing for A10. It's actually so frustrating. But yeah. Spawnlocks says, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say proper thank you for the amazing content you put out. You have built such a wonderful community here, and your positive energy is unmatched. Seeing your journey really motivates me as I grind towards my goal of hitting 100 subscribers on my Call of Duty channel. Thank you for being such an awesome inspiration to new creators like me. Spawnlocks, I hope the best for your creator journey. I think that's so awesome. I'm so glad that I could even inspire in any which way. A Minecraft stream would be so cozy. I do have a Minecraft world, and I have been. The thing is, it's a really cozy world. We're moving through that world really slowly, and it's just a happy time. So that is another comfort thing. But I am thinking, like, guys, so the idea that I just came up with right now, low key was I think Shift gave me the idea to do physical punishments every time I lost. But that was for Valorant. But I want to do gaming, but there's cozy times to be cozy, but I think in this next stretch of making content, I'm really trying to find ways to elevate. You know, I want to come with intention. I want it to be something that I can turn into a video. I truly do. So I fear just doing a freaking 3-hour cozy Minecraft stream. Of course, I would like to indulge every now and then, but in this next week or so, I really want to push myself to elevate my content. I do, while still maintaining my authentic core. I'm getting tired of saying that, but whatever. Fumi, you gotta finish one Minecraft run eventually. Maybe that is something. I try to speed run Minecraft every time I die, or every time I fail in my speed run. I have to do a physical punishment, and that maybe every single time I game, there has to be some sort of like working out that I do in the middle of it, and that is me training for streamer games. I don't know. Are you typically an IRL streamer or a desktop streamer? I do a lot of desktop. I do a lot of just chatting like this, but I have a huge intention of wanting to break out of that. Did you ever reach gold in Valorant? No, I didn't. But I reached silver too, and that's pretty good. Soul linked Minecraft speedrun with your roommates. Soul linked. What does that mean? I still mog you in Val. Means if you take damage, they do. Oh. Soul link speedrun is what we did. We did Soul link speedrun, Bader? Was that what we did? Interesting. Means when you die in real life. It's SAO. Fumi, did you watch Streamer University 2026 behind the scenes? Not yet. Oh, but I want to watch it so bad. Is that something I watch on stream? I gotta eat though. I dead gotta eat. Hi, Bear. Everyone say hi, Bear. Okay, everyone that you see, aggressive Bear, we're gonna point you out because I have viewership that wants to torment you. Everyone say hi, Bear. Bear is one of the very first people who pushed me to stream, or not even pushed me to stream. He just said, like, you make a great streamer, and it was part of one of the only things I needed to push me to stream. So we honor Bear always. Hi, Fumi. Would you do traveling IRL? Yes. I've thought about this a lot. I thrived during DreamCon. I thrived, and actually, guys, I love cosplaying. But all of those things are just very expensive. It's something that I would love to do when it comes to scaling. But in my ideal world, I would travel to anime cons. I would cosplay, meet cosplayers, meet content creators, talk anime with people. Truly, that's where my heart is. DreamCon was such a magical experience. Do traveling content, do cosplaying content, podcasting with creators in different cities. Malcolm Crawford, had a really great experience with him. I would love to, one of my ideas for like a collab would be to go to Chicago, go to an anime con, hang out with Malcolm Crawford, get on his podcast and just talk about anime, really dive into things. So that's something I'm working towards. That's a scaling thing. I have a monetary issue right now. But if you do want to support my cosplays, !Throne, I have a cosplay fund and I have some cosplays in there that I am really excited to do. If you guys would like to treat me to a cosplay, that's there. But yes, guys. Fumi, did you get enough money to buy your backpack yet? There's good news and there's bad news. Good news is Muse, Wonderful Soul, has ended up getting a backpack. It's not a TVU backpack, but it's still a great backpack nonetheless. I think it's like live something. And I'm really excited for it. I don't know to what extent I can use the backpack, but I'm hoping more often than not I can use that backpack. Outside of that though, I would in fact like to what was I gonna do? I think any of the money that I make is probably gonna go to funds for streamer games. Honestly, like food, like that fund might end up going to, because I wasn't expecting to get into streamer games. But it might be to up the equipment for live streaming during streamer games. Lighting, portable chargers, feeding my team, and yeah, there's some segments that might need cash. So either which way, you guys are supporting my content. I'm really grateful. Yes, W Muse. But most definitely, it'll be used towards travel. It'll be used towards, supporting me in the next weeks. Either which way, TVU backpacks are extremely expensive. We did not make the amount of money that would have afforded me a TVU backpack. But still, thank you so much, you guys. For everyone who cared and subbed, I am still extremely appreciative. Winter, thank you for the Prime. Acadian, thank you for the Prime as well 10 minutes ago. And let's see. Mayor says, hey, Fumi. Originally saw you from Let's Stream. I love your vibe and stream. It feels cozy here. Thank you so freaking much. Currently 5:17 right now, but I have a question. Do you know when the Streamers Game event will happen? August 1st through 2nd. But alrighty, guys. Meta glasses cooking or maybe workout POV? I'm sad because I actually didn't receive meta glasses. I wish I got my meta glasses. I'm sorry. My room, both me and my roommate did not receive our meta glasses. Maybe one day. Workout POV. We will do a workout gym moment. We will do that. Which is scary for me and embarrassing. But I'll have to stretch my wings. I look forward to screaming your name at streamer games. Yes, thank you, Cute Shoe. I'm really excited. I'm especially excited. By the way, your kitchen cooking overlay is awesome. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. But all right, guys. Bro, why do you just have those scissors? I don't know. They're my scissors, and they're just so much fun to fidget with. Alright, Fumi, I will now head off your stream for now. I just want to say enjoy your streams. Thank you, Cation. It's inspirational. I plan on starting to stream soon. Anyways, advice from a small streamer to a smaller streamer who is starting out. What was that question? Anyway, advice from a small streamer to a smaller streamer who's starting out. When you're just starting out, practice. Practice makes better, y'all. I mean, so many people say that, but pressing live, it's okay. Act like you're talking to an audience of millions. Regardless, and just practice. Don't worry, don't look at your viewer count. I could not even guess how many people are viewing, and I don't like when people tell me how many people are viewing me. I don't even look. I operate stream exactly how I always do, and it's awesome. I love it. I have one viewer, I have one viewer, and that's Shift Beam. Everyone else is a bot. Not gonna lie, I would have taken a pair. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure J-Shock took a mouse pad. Yeah, it's all right. Baller mindset, sames. Yeah, I actually, I don't really want. And honestly, guys, I try not to look at my average viewership after a stream either. I as long as if I felt like I created, add meta glasses to your throne for me, maybe I will. Honestly, I might. Guys, if you guys check out my throne, I'm gonna add like stuff to improve. Like I'm gonna put IRL equipment, like the nice big beautiful lights that clip on to the streamer phone. I'm probably gonna add that along with like power banks and cords. Like, love you guys, thank you. And then there might be an Uber fund. Love you guys, thank you. Anyone who wants to support. But either which way, I love you guys, and I really appreciate you. You guys are such great vibes. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I am. And if there's any other follow-up questions that you guys have for me, I'm going to be doing just starting tomorrow. I want to stream tomorrow. I do. I crave streaming. I just have to prioritize editing. If you are interested, if you are just tapping in here and you are interested in being my editor or being my clipper, I'm going to do my best to reiterate and to make it known what my expectations for an editor are. But I'm hoping that we created a channel in the Discord. Join the Discord, so that editors can submit their submissions, their example videos. You guys can learn from one another, and the streamer friends that I have that are also looking for editors can also reach out to those that might take a liking to your style. So yeah, we will be working on a raid right now, and I'm gonna actually be raiding my roommate, I believe, and that is Brian's here, and you guys might see me on his stream because they're playing games. I'm getting so much FOMO. You guys are loved and appreciated. You're pretty awesome and pretty cool. I am excited for streamer games. I'm so excited for streamer games. Anyone who has come and anyone who has come and seen me from a stream that isn't Ludwig's, came from Ron's stream or Jason's stream, or any other creator, or even saw my intro into Kaisenat's office. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope you guys will swing back again. I am beyond blessed, and I can't explain to you enough. And the people that I really owe it to is Brian's ear. I'm not gonna lie, Brian's ear, he recruited me to be a part of a content house, and it has been what has changed the game for me in terms of streaming and feeling just like I have a community to be with. Something I didn't mention that I should have mentioned before, but my roommate Sarah Ferrugia, we can do ! Roommate. She is wonderful. And she truly changed my streaming experience. Just by being her and being a light, I was truly a miracle. And remind me next stream to talk more about her. I will have a dedicated content funnel all about how wonderful it was to have her as my roommate. All right, in terms of our raid message, we're going to raid Brian saying this. What should it be, guys? Should it be... Let's do this. Let's do what up, what up, big bro, it's a Fumi Bean raid. And then I'm going to use my aura Nice. Oh my gosh, I hear screaming. I feel so much FOMO. What are they doing? Bang. That is our raid message. Copy and paste that. Be a part of this raid and show him lots of love. You guys are going to get a peek into, you guys are actually going to get a peek into how drastically different everyone is from my house. They make different content than I do. We are so very different from one another, and I love them. What makes us different makes us really strong as a group. Hopefully you guys will love Brian too. We are very different though. We are very different. Love you guys. Are you ready? Are you set? Go.